Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to GameStar TV for the Blizzard ANZ HGC qualifiers for season number 4. My name is Kit Fox. I'll be your host for this evening. And just before we pass it back to your casters, Skimmy and Vandy, we've got word that Ground Zero versus Pocket Me Lighter has gone into a game number 3. So instead of having another 20 minutes or so downtime, we're going to be bringing that final game at you right here, right now on stream. So it's one apiece as these two teams load into the match. The winner of this will play Crimson Esports for 4th seed. So that means they won't have to play again tomorrow and they can basically practice all week and come back hard and fast for next week's top 8 qualifiers. So we're going to jump into it. So I'm going to pass you back over to your casters, Skibby and Vandy, for game number 3 of Ground Zero versus Pocket Me Light.
You know, I just love those team names. Like, that for me personally it's not a deal breaker, it's a deal winner.
Yep, it's all about, what is it? The cheeky bands, as well as just how good you can be at bragging with your name. So, missed opportunity, that's definitely not the case here. We're on Dragonshire again, Skimmy, by the way. So,
I was just going to say, there's a bit of banter as to, like, have we started the draft? Have we not? You know, we resolved those issues there. Technical difficulties out the way. But yeah, as you were saying, Dragonshire.
Let's see what they've got. I mean, this is going to be the second time of the night that we get to be on this map. 2 different teams. So one actually, Zeppelin. I believe this is the team that he's put together. And then on the flip side, we've got Ground Zero. A couple of old faces. I believe they might have been a part of the Scripts and Scrubs crew.
Yep.
Yep. So new name, same faces.
It's always good to see some of these familiar household faces come back to the scene, stick around, help the scene grow. Whoa, let's hold the phone on that one straight away with the Asmodon. If I was a betting man, I'd be saying that Zeppy.
I would take that bet because I pretty much guarantee that it is Zeppelin. He's probably become, what is it? Where Explicit has left, we've now got Zeppelin. For anyone familiar with the ANZ scene.
Maybe he's a streaming version of Explicit. We get to witness the carnage in first person.
In all seriousness, I have seen Zeppelin on Asmodon multiple times, and he's proven himself to be quite the vicious Asmodon player. He knows what he needs to do. He gets the split. He gets the job done in all essentiality. And responding picks to that was to get the Dahaka. Great for trying to respond to the global threat that Asmodon can do, or the push that his lanes can do. So Dahaka, get in there, clear the lanes, get the experience. And Uther, too good to leave, I guess, with the Oriel and Anurak ban.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to your point as well, the Asmodon, we've seen this played on Dragonshire specifically last season by Aluminum in particular, and they went for a composition which had a lot of wave clear, obviously to complement the taste for blood, looking for the stacks, looking for that mid to late game power spike. Put them in the middle lane, as we said actually during game number 1, so I suppose this will come around full circle. But yeah, put them in the middle lane, go for the dunks, get those stacks, reach that late game power spike, and single-handedly do work, especially against the likes of Uther, who's about the burst healing, will have a big difficulty, really, dealing with the Asmodon. But yeah, those 2 bans come across. Malthael and Genji, both high priorities on this map, both with a lot of influence in what they can do to sway a team fight.
And it's interesting as well to see Pocket Me Lighter, although they didn't get the Uther, so traditionally that stitches into the Uther, they've got the Malfurion, and you can actually do the hook into the Entangling Root, so something quite similar to what they were trying to achieve. Nice to see. Arthas, however, now is being the responding pick and a Grey main. I mean, they're going very dive heavy into something, I guess, it's a little bit more focused on picks. However, that Malfurion can be, you've got to respect that Twilight Dream. He can use it to really lock you up and turn a situation right around.
I mean, if we look and see what Ground Zero have right now, they've arguably gone for all the tier 1 picks on this map. They've gone for the Grey Man and the Office to make sure they can lock down this Asmodon and guarantee a quick kill to shut him down. Dahaka for the rotations to force those fights in a numbers advantage. But if you flick it over, Malfurion is arguably one of the best supports to deal with the likes of Greymane, arguably his biggest supporting counter. He jumps in, the root is there to lock him in place. Then you've got the Twilight Dream, and things happen, which he does not like to say on air. Those are slightly R18 words, but 2 last picks coming for the boys from Pocket Me Lighter. How do they want to try and round this out? I'm guessing they want some more wave clear, and that's going to come in the form of both Fausted and Rag.
Ragnaros is a face I have not seen in quite a while. We're talking about heroes coming back into the meta. In fact, I feel it's the opposite for Ragnaros. I feel like he's going a little bit out of the meta. He does have maps where he can be a little bit of that one trick. Braxis, I see him still picked up a lot, and a lot that can come from just being able to clear out that Zerg wave, really stall or push coming in. As you said, he can be quite a formidable solo lane depending on who he is up against. The Falstad would be good as well to get that gust for engaging, disengaging, and more importantly, that wave clear. So really an answer as well to the Dahaka. To round things all off though, Skimmy, that Kael'thas pick, thoughts on that one?
I mean, the Kael'thas, I suppose, seems to be a direct response to the Azmodan as well. Say, hey, we have extra CC to follow up with the Arthas, but also just the Living Bomb can spread around. And if you clump up trying to help this Azmodan, then the Empowered Flame Strike will do a lot of work. But this is a bit of a note to take away from the ANZ scene. We don't run these sweaty double support comps where we're relying on one person. It's all about damage. We just want numbers.
We do. It's all the numbers game, padding your stats, getting the kills, making yourself feel good at the end of the day. And look at this team synergy.
I wanted to say it too.
I'm just seeing like goblin faces smiling at me. And the team that, what is it that we always joke about it? The team that has the same portraits wins together, right?
Yeah, the same portraits, they stay together. It's like a relationship, not on Heroes of the Storm.
I love
beautiful, it. Beautiful. One apiece here in the lower bracket between both of these teams as we introduced them to start things off on Dragonshy in the blue corner. It is none other than Ground Zero, led by their tank player Bobcow on Arthas, Pupper on Greymane, Scripps on Uther, Superstition on Dahaka, and Dubscoop on Kael'thas.
And on the right, we've got Pocket Me Lighter. I believe that will be headed up by Zepline, who's playing Azmodan, Shannon Knoll on Falstad, Nikki Webster on Stitches, MKLL on Malfurion, and Flays on Ragnaros. So we've got a couple of celebrities, Nikki Webster, Shannon Knoll. Let's see what these celebs have got.
Celebrity influences in this one, but they're not going to go for the taste for blood, Vandy. They are just going to stick with the standard, going for the Sieging Wrath, wanting that early game pressure. They don't want to get bodied too hard to start things off with as they go for the early game fight. The dunk comes out, it hits one man as the Bermuda Triangle goes to miss with the hook.
And immediately the laser comes out as well onto Scripps. He is falling. He does manage to get out that armor being enough. This time it's going to be MKL that faces the Wrath.
From downtown with the dunk, support for support. He's saying, where are you going? The globe comes across and he escapes on 50 health, but not for long.
Beautiful turnaround, and I mean, we like to joke no one of value was lost, but this time both supports were lost. So it feels a little bit bad, man, but it's all right. It's early game. The death spawn timers won't penalize them too much. And, I mean, okay, things to watch out for this game, I guess. Like you said, the Azmodan, making sure that we see how he's stacking up that Sieging Wrath. It will get stronger and stronger as we go. No Convection being picked up by Kael'thas, opting for the safe route to get that mana adding.
Yeah, making sure that he actually has the sustain and the burst shielding to deal with this poke that will come from afar. But one adaptation also to mention is Ragnaros has gone for the Shifting Meteor, which did receive a slight buff. Whether or not it's going to have much of an impact, a bit harder to try and find value compared to the Q, your hammer. But he has already got 11 stacks. He is looking to try and maximize that potential as they bounce between the lanes with arguably the superior wave to start things off.
He really is. Oh, okay. So what I'm thinking, looking at the build that Ragnaros and Azmodan doing, it's going to be all about that poke before they go for the kill. And I think that kind of ties into their composition. It's all up to the Stitches to really enable them. What we sort of saw Nomia doing in that last game on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So if they can make that happen, we'll see the team fights go quite well. They can also have those disengage tools with the Falstad if things go a little bit south. On the side of Ground Zero, however, they need the fights. They need to play very aggressively.
Absolutely, their composition is built around sustain. In terms of just finding kills, they want to get in your face, they want to go for aggression. Bobcow finds that, he goes for the Howling Blast onto 2. Cannot get the kill just yet, but they catch out Nikki Webster, he's dropping low. He is looking to get taken on out, and he does. They collapse onto it, and with double altars picked up, the Shrines allowed him to get a DK.
It's going to be almost a little back-to-back game, I find. This is almost how Nomia played it in that beginning. It was just about getting that one pick, and then it really freed up the Dragon Knight for them. I mean, Zepline, he is in the mid lane. He's out of mana, however. Just enough mana for one dunk, stalling it. That was enough time for his team, however, to cap that bottom. So no Dragon Knight being picked up just yet.
One dunk to rule them all, and indeed it does. Gives them enough time for the rotations. Talking of rotations in the top lane, Falstad actually had a pretty rough time dealing with this Dahaka, which, as a result of Superstition bullying him away, can come down for this gank attempt in the bot lane. They don't get anything. He is forced to go back on up as we reach the 3-minute mark of this game with little pressure when it comes to this DK.
I mean, little pressure, however. This is where it all happens. Bobcat being hooked in that bottom lane. Dragon Knight is up to cap. If they get a kill here, it could be the pressure that they need. They aren't able to. That extra armor coming out from Uther's heal. Enough to keep him on there.
Yeah, Bobcat does escape. Almost having flashbacks of what we saw on Tomb of the Spider Queen. You run in, you look for that kill, you nearly get out. Nicky Webster getting aggressive with the hook, clipping his backside, giving him a bit of a breeze. He's waking up with that one, having a little bit of a booty shot there on Instagram, but we're going to punch on in with this bottom lane, still looking for that kill, trading the shrine back and forth, waiting for that one pick.
And I mean, notably, we did see Shannon on that foul stat. He rotated to the middle lane. They were trying to get a pick on Papa, who's actually playing Gromane. Didn't even realize I could have made a puppy joke.
Well, you know, we talk about synergy with the icons. He's got synergy with the name. He's taking it one step further, but let's talk about the bot lane right now. Bob Cow gets dragged on in. The route is good. Zipline on the flank. I never thought I'd see a scary Asmodan as this one. He does manage to get out of harm's way. The body blocking is not there. And we trade the shrine once again in favor of Pocket Mulata.
It's just going back and forth, as you said, but where they felt penalized, as I was trying to say on that last point, was that no kill was traded in that middle lane. So that's what they need to happen. Whether it be Dahaka or Falstad, they really need that kill pressure to then be able to get the objective, essentially. Otherwise, they're happy to clear, but there's a lot of fighting going on with Bob being surrounded.
He's low. MKO is also low as Papa jumps in, but he can't find the final auto attack to do it. Can they get a double kill? Yes, they can. As both Asmodan and Ragnaros Strut, they do get the triple kill in the end. And that surely is enough breathing room for them now to find that first DK.
We were just talking about one kill to open up the map. No, they got 3. This is exactly what Ground Zero were wanting. They can now put a couple of members to capture the top shrine and then pick up the first Dragon Knight of the game, essentially.
Still rough times in this top lane for Nicky Webster, getting bullied out by the Dahaka. Dahaka with the arguably much better sustain, but yeah, the rotation is good. They all run to the top lane, actually saying we don't care about the dragon, we just want raw sieging potential as they go for those first 2 towers.
I mean, pre-10, the Dragon Knight can be quite weak. It does scale with levels and as the game progresses, so sometimes it's not a bad thing to delay capturing the Dragon Knight. As long as you have a stalemate and no one's capping it, it can work to your advantage. So exactly like I said, they opted to get some structural pressure instead by taking out that top front wall.
This is interesting, actually, Vandy, how they're playing this one, because generally speaking, we see the switching of the solo lane to the bot lane, as we're seeing right now. When they've taken those initial towers, they want to try and get as much potential during the early game. Because those towers don't scale into the late game, it's static XP. They just say, we don't care. We want to rotate. We want to bully this top lane even harder than it has done already. Talking of that, Faustin is gone, and Zepline is just in trouble.
Dragon Knight has been picked up as well to be the icing on the cake. So this is now going to be all up to Pocket Mulata to really defend. Oh my goodness. And okay, if you are now Zepline, like if you look at their composition, what do they really have to defend with?
I mean, the sieging is pretty rough of it. They've gone for the Living Meteor build, which, like I say, isn't going to find too much value unless they all run at him literally straight down mid. But one thing I want to talk even further than that, Vandy, Pyroblast. This is ANZ Hero League at its finest.
Didn't think that I'd see it. I mean, Phoenix is generally too good to pass up for the zoning potential. But if you can make it work, if you can get those kills, it's definitely good. Blaze needs to seriously watch out. He is tunnel visioning hard.
Superstition is here. He's looking for it. The Howling Blast is good. The Curse Bullet is better. The Drag is there. The clean execution. And they find the kill.
I mean, Flaze, he got the experience, sure, but wasn't it surely equalized by the amount he gave in that kill? And more importantly, he really needed that molten core to stop the value that they could get out of this push happening in the top lane.
Yeah, trying to do things on his own, especially when I don't even have level 10. It was such a rough situation for them to be in, and now the siege begins. There goes the Gust, looking to try and back them away as more stacks are required by Zepline. The hook is not going to find anybody but just a minion. The Lava Wave comes across, and look at all the damage that can do. It actually does a bit of work. Office is gone, the Twilight Train is even better. And they suddenly start actually getting some pressure. I mean, I'm so taken aback by that.
I'm very confused, but I am loving every moment of it, Skimmy. Sometimes we show it doesn't have to be about the meta. You can think outside the box and great things will happen. We've got a lava wave or a wava fave, as we love to call it. It's a meme central. Papa, he's paused the game. This gives us a little bit of breathing room to take stock of where the game's at the moment. So structural advantage definitely goes to Ground Zero. And a lot of that was because of the Death Knight and the picks that they were able to get.
Well, let's break that down a little bit further for the viewers, Van. If you actually take a look at the tab itself, 5k XP from structures alone versus the 800. Once again, a repeat of the pressure that you can exert if you find those kills to start the game off with. The pause is done, and there goes the Pyroblaster. Kamehameha! He's gone!
The isolation was there as well to make sure that Falstad was a sitting duck. He's not riding that Griffin. It was a duck.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. He's definitely got the rubber ducky in his bath, and he's sent back home packing. As they now hit level 13, 8 kills to 2. And with these kills that they're acquiring, abusing the fact that they have a stronger early game, they can now look to accelerate that even further by picking up all these mercenary caps.
Yep, 13 has been acquired by Ground Zero, as you touched on, and this will be the best time to fight. If they can pick another fight, they will want to extend that lead and control the map, and the best way they're doing that is by getting the camps. The camps can be often an overlooked little macro play that you do, but it puts pressure on the lane. It really helps negate as well what Asmodan's trying to do. With his ability pushing on his behalf. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there.
You know, the English language is a hard language, and even I get confused.
Tough? No, we got there in the end. That's all that matters here.
Well, it looks like Pocket Milano want to force a fight, and I would argue that's not the best call to make as he runs on in with the Putrid Bile. The Gust has to be used for insurance to make sure he does not drop. They don't have 13. Not too sure about the decision. Superstition is pushing top lane for free. They're making a 4v5 work right now, Vandy.
Bobcow is running in with that Frozen Tempest, slowing down, getting all up in MKL's business. MKL is dropping, does get their heal. Living Bomb is on him. Is it going to be enough? He actually brought the Living Bomb to his team.
They're all so low as the Love Wave comes across. Divine Shield is false. Pop is down to 30. Dub Scoop is lower as suddenly Scripps is doing everything he can to keep this team sustained. Oh, wow. Flaze is just dropping the damage, but the Pyro is there. Nearly one shots to Falstead.
We just need another Lava Wave charge, and that would have been 2 kills picked up on the side of Pocket Me Lighter. They were so close to turning the tides on that one. Feels really bad to get that close. This could be almost spelling out what could happen with the fights. They did not even have 13, so yes, we were a little bit confused, but kind of worked in their favor if they were able to get those kills.
So 1v1 in the bot lane. Dubscoop is winning that one against Nicky Webster, who does get the heal. Does look to try and do something. Puchabala is forced as Bobcow rotates, but 2 people in the top lane looking for Superstition. He does not care. He just pops the essence and he runs away with that enhanced agility. And with all that time bought, once again, they pick up another dragon.
And he's sieging down in that middle lane. He's looking to see if he can expose a keep. It's Pupper in this one. They're grey main. If they can get a keep, that's, once again, the path that they need to really secure the win. Let's see. And every structure that they get as well is going to be adding to that experience tally. While Ragnaros fell doing all of this skinny.
Yeah, fell again, and it just really hurts when you have these staggered deaths because they can't fight because they're down a talent, they can't fight because they're down a member. With the Dragon, they can get 16, opening up mid lane, looking for that first keep of the game. Zepline trying to do what he can to defend, but you talked about it. What is their sieging potential to defend? They just have a Gust.
That is all they have. And I mean, they needed that Ragnaros alive. Flaze cannot afford to be picked off like this. This is where he can really shine. Use that Molten Core talent to get some advantage by taking the hits instead of your structure. There's no mules in this game.
Not a single fault has died for Ground Zero. Let's just envision that. The only thing that's dropped right now is the towers when Flaze literally ran it down for the suicide push. And as a result of this, everything is exposed now for Pocket Milan. That's the final fault to drop. The keeps are exposed, and this gives them some win conditions. They've got 16. They're still healthy when it comes to mana and health. They can look to continue the siege, especially given they have both Kelfast and Greymane.
And just to add to that, I mean, if you actually look at the numbers, 800 experience contributed from structures to Pocket Me Lighter, compared to pretty much just under 8k going to Ground Zero. So that is the experience that we're talking about. That's where the level differentiation is really coming from. And also, it just makes it a little bit tough. I mean, yeah, even if you get the Dragonite in this stage of the game, you still have to go through that fort and that keep. It really just delays the game, staggers it out.
Not even that, the kills themselves, Vanny. Looking at the scoreboard, 11 kills to 2. The composition was weird and wacky from Pocket Me Lighter as they try and go against what is far more traditional coming out of the meta right now as Bobcow looks for the invade, looking to keep them in check, knowing that, hey, we are 16, there's not much that you can do. Superstition jumps in, MKL forced to burn the Twilight Dream, does not hit anything, and now Nicky Webster's in trouble.
And he's got a Pyroblast incoming onto him too. It gets the kill. That's him completely destroyed. Nicky Webster as well, taken out. 3 members collapsing upon him. 2 members down on the side of Pocket Me Lighter, things are starting to look dire for them, Skinny.
He couldn't even use the ice block, and that's how sad that situation was. Zeppeline's pushing top lane, trying to get 16, trying to do something to prevent this all-in on the keep, because if this keep drops, if they get another kill, this is potentially threatening to go for the core.
That's what they want. The lava wave will be enough. And this is the multi-core that we like to see. Finally now, he can get some value, defend that keep it nice and alive, and stagger out the game. That's finally the break that they wanted. They need to hit 16, Pocket Me Lighter, before their next fight. There is a nice wave pushing up top on behalf of Azmodan, but it's just free experience, really, just adding into the pool there. If someone goes to respond to that wave, I'd like to see them get a pick because of that. Read the rotations.
Yeah, it was unfortunate there by Flay's not able to get the swing of the hammer, but talk about unfortunate situations right now. That's on for ground zero. Dahaka biting off far more than he could chew. Goes for the invade for the camp, gets picked off by every single member of Red Team. They take that night camp. They get 16, and now they can look to try and get a Shrine phase.
That was exactly the pick that I wanted them to do. So great use of flight right there by Shannon Knoll. He really initiated and the gust into the wall to really lock up Superstition. They really overextended, maybe getting a little bit greedy, and I like to see, that's what I want to see them do. Punish ground zero if they're getting a little bit overconfident.
This is fantastic stuff by them now. By picking up the Knights, they go for a strong push in the top lane. They're going to guarantee this full. And a lot more pressure on the map to start working with. But the call's been made by Ground Zero. Rush bot lane. We don't care about the shrines. We already have bot lane controlled. Let's try and get this dragon. Let's try and get this keep, as Zeppline comes on in with the dunks and the lasers. And he's going to receive a pyro to the face.
Just have to watch that.
He taunts!
He does a mastery taunt. Great. He's saying, is that all you've got? It's not going to be enough. I'm tanky. Thanks for the free Pyroblast.
Hold the phone there, Vanny. Twilight Dream comes across hitting two as Shannon Knoll jumps aggressively into the backline looking for the pick with the gas. They're going to collapse on towards Arthas, but he does receive the Divine Shield. Now the fight's turning on its head. Look at the value coming across from Kelfast alone. The Living Bomb springing around. Hits two, gets a double kill, looking for the triple as Malfurion drops as well now. These respawn times are so long. They're down for 40 seconds. The keep is exposed. They don't even care about the top lane push. They don't even care about the dragon. They want the keep.
Falstad just bit off way more than he can chew. I know that's my catchphrase of the day, and I've been saying it a lot, but I'm just like, not like this. If Arthas isn't being silenced or stunned and he's got Army of the Dead up, it's just a bait. He's going to heal up his health, and he's so tanky, especially as a Falstad. If you don't have the hammering up, that's your majority of your burst, you're not going to be able to auto-attack him down. So we saw that really went south, and they needed that damage for the rest of the fight.
Brushstalker was down for 20 seconds after that siege began, so Superstition is on wave clearing duty. He's going to escort that night camp, which actually found a lot of value despite the fight that went around. It's completely exposed the Death Bridge, arguably the weakest one to go for towards the keep of Ground Zero. But Arthas was already there for the rotation. He's going to go for the Shrine in the top lane, but Falstad respawns. The opportunity is missed as Shannon picks up bot lane.
Now again, they are trading up these altars. And what we need to see Pocket Me Lighter do is really capitalize. They cannot fight face-to-face. It's once again, they have to look for an opportunity to pick. It's going to be quite tricky because 20, that Storm Talent, has been picked up by Ground Zero. That's when things start to get a little bit scary. There is a lot of wave clear on the side of Pocket Me Lighter, however, that they can use to their advantage.
And look at the tankiness of Bobcow. He's running in 1v5. He gets the Divine Shield. Risky plays, but they pick off the Stitches straight away. Army of the Dead is going to come across to keep him sustained. Superstition in the backline, forcing out the Ice Block very early on. Isolation does not connect. Shannon is zoned down to 400 because the Pyro smacked him in the face. One person is down, and now they can look for the DK.
With all heroics across the board down, except for Lava Wave and Blackpool, it's really looking like Pocket Me Lighter in a little bit of a tricky situation. It's not down and over, not yet, but it's going to be hard to defend.
Look at the top lane, Bendy. This is like the Benny Hill music. He's running bot lane, he's running top lane. He's saying, you're never going to pick up this DK, but Superstition says, I've got your number on speed dial, swiping left and swiping right, and he matches. He gets a kill. It's
done and dusted. Superstition, any chance he gets, is going to really go for that Falstad. It's global versus global. That bot lane, we've got Bobcow. He's putting pressure on it. He knows that that's the open one, and he's made the call to his team as well. They just need one member to pick it up. Superstition, the Dahaka. He's got the Dragonite, and I know exactly where it's been going for. They've got their eyes on the core now, Skinny.
This is rough. Really rough right now for Pocket Me Lighter because Falstad's down. The Gus is available. That is arguably one of their best defensive tools to prevent this game from finishing. Lava Wave comes through the bot lane. What value does it find? It denies both catapults. Is that going to be enough? They're sieging. The defense, it's been so good all game long, hanging on by a thread. They're so close to 20 as well, Vandy, but the shield is dropping and the core is too.
They're going for it, Skimmy. Ooh, they got a kill there with that Twilight Dream. They did manage to get a kill onto Uther. However, Devotion is keeping Papa healed up. Blaze cannot seal the deal. He cannot get the kill.
It's not going to be enough, though. The late game scaling off that DK alone was enough to seal the game out. 20 kills to 4, too little too late. And they close off the series 2-1 in favor of Ground Zero.
More importantly, we saw some great Pyroblast coming out as well, showing that it's not always about the meta, Skimmy.
You know, that's what ANZ is known for. It might be a quick match comp, it might just be a bit of fun, but at the end of the day, these boys are punching on. They made it to the top 8 on the day. That was the lower bracket. And they put on a show for us, something out of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump on back through to Kitfox as we get prepared for the next set of games. 2-1 on the day for Ground Zero. But stay tuned as the giveaway has just begun.
Thank you very much, Skimmy and Vandy. Congratulations to Ground Zero for coming up and showing Pocket Me Lighter why they deserve to go through into the second round of this week's tournament. Unfortunately, for Pocket Me Lighter, they will bow out and they will have to re-qualify again tomorrow alongside with one of their counterparts. It is Mad Cos Bad is the name I'm looking for. So the first two to bow out, Ground Zero and Mad Cos Bad, will have to re-qualify again tomorrow. But that is it for the first round matches. You did see on stream before Nomiya coming up trumps against Crimson Esports. And in the other game in the upper bracket, Darksided defeated NMD. So Nomiya will be versing Darksided, the Giant Slayers, as we like to call them, or Giant Killers, considering it's Heroes of the Storm. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because after the break, well, after the end of the rounds, rather, we're going to be drawing another one of those Garrosh skins. So make sure you're following our Twitch channel. Shout out to the 140 plus viewers in the Twitch chat and type !GS HOTS into the chat to get your hands on a sweet little Garrosh skin. Thank you to Blizzard ANZ for putting that online. We're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere because we're going to be back with more Heroes of the Storm action right after this.